Okay, we are streaming live via YouTube. My name is Judge Tamika West Bernard. I will be presiding over the preliminary hearing calendar for this morning, sitting by designation for Superior Court. As I call the calendar, please make your announcements. The first case we have on the calendar is the state of Georgia versus Brian Alvarez. That was a bond waiver signed on December 13, 2022. Second case, go ahead, correct, sure.
Yes.
Okay. Second case, state of Georgia versus Ticarius Bell. That's going to be a reset based on the earlier email I received from counsel. Ms. Mary, are we gonna reset that for January 9th?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so that'll be a reset until January 9th. I believe that Attorney Schoolcraft, you're on that case as well.
I am, Judge.
Okay, thank you. Position 8 on the calendar, state of Georgia versus Rashonda Billinger. That was also a bond waiver executed December 13, 2022. Correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Position 12 on the calendar, state of Georgia versus Jason Thomas Boyd. Is the state ready?
No, Your Honor. The state will be asking for continuance again. I know this is the second time, at least the second time it's been on the calendar. The witness is no longer with CCPD. I reached out to him previously because he is still employed with the county. I got a response from him yesterday evening indicating that he has a doctor's appointment this morning, will not be able to attend. I did speak to Ms. Pleasant just to let her know that we would not have our witness today. This is a rape case, and so very serious charges. I do have the number of a supervisor in the detectives unit with CCPD, so I'm going to work to see either if he is not going to testify that we can get somebody else. So we are asking for another continuance.
Okay, any objection, Attorney Pleasant?
Yes, Your Honor, I would object. As Ms. Freeman did indicate, this case has actually been on the calendar. If I'm not mistaken, this is the third time. Still waiting for a witness to show up for the state.
Okay. Okay, due to the seriousness of the charges, I am going to go ahead and reset the case until January the 9th.
Thank you, Your Honor.
But ADA Freeman, please have at least a witness available to testify on that date.
I'm working on it, Judge.
Position 17 on the calendar, state of Georgia versus Alan Quentin Brown. Is the state ready?
Yes.
And yeah, we're pre-trying that one with the state, possible waiver.
Okay. Position 21 on the calendar, state of Georgia versus Angel Yvonne Bronner. Is the state ready?
State's ready.
Who's representing the defendant?
That'd be my case, Your Honor.
Okay.
Yeah, I just need to hold on that one and confirm with Ms. Brunner this morning.
Okay, no problem. Position 22, state of Georgia versus LaShonda Campbell Barnes.
The state's ready.
Frank Smith for Ms. Campbell Barnes. Defense is ready, Your Honor.
Who is that again? I'm sorry. Is that Mr. Smith?
Frank Smith, yes.
Okay, thank you.
And Judge, there's a co-defendant in that case, Armand Williams. I'm not sure who represents Armand Williams.
Okay, yeah, I do have that. That's page 61 on the calendar. Let me see here. That's 61 on my calendar. So it'll be at position 124.
Judge West,
Yes,
good
through
morning.
126.
Judge, I was appointed to represent Mr. Amon Williams.
Okay,
However, when I went to go see him at the jail, he said his family hired an attorney. I got a number for the family member, called the family member. They said they did hire an attorney. They couldn't, for whatever reason, they didn't know the name. And I've been trying to get the name ever since. So if no attorney has appeared today, I would ask that Mr. Williams be brought out to determine whether or not his family had an attorney. Otherwise, I'll be on it until that happens.
okay, we can do that. So we will likely, we'll see what he has to say. In any case, I'm assuming you will need a continuance.
More than likely, because I have not had any. I ceased my conversations once he said he had a private attorney, and I didn't discuss with him. So I would be prepared to go move forward today if I'm going to be the law attorney.
Okay, so
Our detective on that case is on the Zoom. But if we can't go forward with both cases, we would ask that they be rescheduled so we can hear both of them at the same time. But if there is another attorney that's going to be on, the state is ready and the detective is on the Zoom.
okay, so we'll bring the defendant out to see if he has another attorney, but even if he does, his attorney is not present today, so it will likely be appropriate to continue it. Do you have any, Attorney Smith, do you have any objection to a continuance?
I mean, I would,
case?
Your Honor. I mean, this is a case where my client is looking at self-defense, and so we would want to move forward. This case is also set down for a bond hearing on Friday, and so my presumption is that if the probable cause hearing gets continued, then the bond hearing gets continued as well. Now, if we can proceed with the bond hearing still on Friday, then I won't jump up and down about it, but
And attorney is on the bond calendar. That's an error. So because it's a murder case, your motion for bond has to be filed and heard in Superior Court. And so it's on the bond calendar in Magistrate Court, but that's an error. So it is not on the bond calendar for Friday.
all right, that's good to know. I inquired at the district attorney's office and the judge's office regarding that and didn't get a response. So, so then yes, Your Honor, I would jump up and down about the probable cause hearing being continued if that's the case.
Okay, well, we may not have a choice since there is a co-defendant in the case. I have read the warrants in the case. So I do believe that they would need to be have the hearing together. So I'm not prepared to separate them at this point.
It's the first time on the calendar as well.
Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and reset that, and then we'll also, Attorney, so we'll definitely call your client before us when I get to his name. But we're gonna go ahead and reset that for, is January 9th, will that work, Miss Mary?
No, we're gonna put them on January 11th because I've got a bunch of other ones that gotta go on the 9th.
Okay.
And Judge, if I can check with Detective Cooper, is January 11th good for you?
Yes, ma'am, it is.
Okay.
Despite your objection, Attorney Smith, do you have any conflict for January the 11th?
I'm pulling it up, Your Honor. I believe that I do. Yeah, I've filed one leave in the last year, and it's during that week, January the 9th through January the 13th. But if this is remote, Your Honor, I'll make arrangements to be able to appear while I'm on vacation.
Yeah, so it will be remote. So we'll make sure you get the Zoom link for the preliminary hearing on January the 11th.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Judge, before he leaves, he needs to send me an entry of appearance so we can make sure he gets the Zoom link.
I filed an entry of appearance in person on December the 8th.
Okay, but can you email it to me so I can make sure it gets on there?
What email address you wanted to?
I'm gonna put it in the chat.
And Judge, with that, I believe that's Detective Cooper's only case. May he be excused?
Yes, if that's his only case, yes.
Thank you, Detective.
Thank you.
Position 25 on the calendar, State of Georgia versus Heather Spring Carter. State ready?
The state's ready.
Judge, I just need a brief pretrial with my client. I believe that'll probably be a bond waiver.
Okay,
And by the way, Judge, that's the same announcement for the next one, which is
Hey,
also my
this is
case file.
Attorney, Chris Combs. Mr. Williams has court
Chris,
today.
you're not muted.
Attorney
Chris
appears. We're trying to find out who is.
Attorney Toles?
Attorney you all have
Attorney
for him.
Toles? Okay. Okay, and then you also represent the position 26, State of Georgia versus Ronald Joseph Curry. Attorney
Yes,
Schoolcraft?
Judge, it'll be the same announcement. I just need a brief pretrial with my client. I believe that'll be a bond waiver as well.
Okay, thank you. Position 29, State of Georgia versus DeAndre Lee Daniels.
State's ready.
I need to hold on that one. I think we may be able to work out a waiver.
Thank you. Position 31, State of Georgia versus Kelsey Devon Falk.
State's ready.
Same announcement for the time being. I think we might be able to work out a bond on it.
Position 35, State of Georgia versus Gabrielle Barnell Gonzalez.
State's ready.
Your Honor, I am in discussions with the prosecutor right now. Hopefully that'll be a bond waiver. If not, we'll be ready for the hearing.
Okay, thank you. Position 39, State of Georgia versus Charles Robert Gray.
Judge, that's my case. I need a brief pretrial with my client. I got an offer from the state this morning. And I'm going to discuss it with him. I don't know for sure whether that will be a bond waiver or not. If it isn't, I would ask to have it continued to the next calendar in January. if it needs
Okay.
that.
And Judge, the state's ready, but if it has to be a hearing, the state has no objection to that.
Okay, and then I believe Attorney Schoolcraft, the continues would be due to your officially on a leave of absence to the beginning of the year, correct?
Yes, Judge.
Thank you. Position 51 on the calendar, State of Georgia versus DeAndre Hawks.
State's ready.
That may be a hearing. I'll speak with the state though, and see if we can work it out.
Okay. Position 55, State of Georgia versus Lamar Haywood.
State's ready.
Someone represent the defendant?
I am. My apologies. I couldn't click the mute fast enough. I need to pre-try that case with Mr. Haywood. He has a bond offer that I need to discuss with him.
Okay. Position 63, State of Georgia versus Cody Lee Hendrick.
The state's ready.
And that looks like it might be a waiver.
Javark, is that a drug court waiver?
No, I wouldn't say that. Like
Oh,
I said,
okay.
about it.
Okay, just thank you.
Position 64, State of Georgia versus Johnny Edward Jenkins II. That was a bond waiver.
Yes.
Correct.
Yes.
December 13, 2022. Position 65, State of Georgia versus Kenneth Nigel Johnson.
Judge, that was a bond we previously did. I actually sent an email to all of the judicial assistants. I didn't get a response back because I never got any signed paperwork. Attorney Toles was on that case and he never got any paperwork, but we just hadn't been able to get a response as to where the paperwork is. But we did a bond on that one a week ago.
Okay, do you know who a week ago?
Yeah, who was the judge?
It was sent to Judge Case Johnson.
Okay,
And I wasn't sure if it was signed and her assistant didn't send us a paperwork or what happened, but I don't have a copy of it. But we did take care of that last week.
I'll click on it.
I don't have a copy either, Judge, and that was sent off on December the 7th.
Again, I'll take care of it. I'll call when we finish the calendar.
All right, thank you. Mhm.
we'll get it taken care of this, if not today, definitely tomorrow.
Thank you, Judge.
Position 67 on the calendar, State of Georgia versus Jalen Avery Jones.
Good morning, Judge. Jamaria Davis on behalf of Mr. Jones. The defense is ready.
And the state?
The state is, Judge, I'll say this, I believe the state is ready. This is a case where I have the main officer is no longer with the sheriff's office. We have someone else who we think can testify and I just need to confer with him.
Okay, now, is this, when I read the warrants, it appears there is a co-defendant in the case?
So yes, Judge,
Is it Bo Mosley?
yes.
Okay. So the state ready to go on that? Let me see that's 40 on the calendar, page 40. So that would be,
I'm not sure if there was an attorney. His is one of the cases that we've struggled, or the court has struggled to try to get an attorney appointed to Bo Mosley.
well, we have Carrie Foster Thompson. Let's see.
Good morning, Your Honor. Patrice Davis. I think it's reassigned to Mohammed Luemba for Bo Mosley.
Okay. Can you spell the last name for me?
Luwemba.
I'm sorry, you were going out, Ms. Davis.
Luwemba.
Okay, so he was
First name is
assigned.
Mohammed.
Okay, I got the first name, Muhammad. Okay. He was assigned to represent
Bo
Bo
Mosley.
Mosley.
I
So
think
is
that's a reassignment from Carrie Thompson.
okay. So do you know when he was reassigned?
I'm not sure, Your Honor.
Is he on the Zoom call today?
I don't see him.
Sam, Judge.
So we would,
Well, he wouldn't be because we had no idea he exists for this defendant.
Okay.
so we'll need to do a reset for that one. So do we need to reset this one as well?
Judge, I know all of those cases have been continued numerous times. And so I'll also, if you can hold, I want to double check with the other officer to see if he's even able to testify. Because we had a case on the calendar, it may have been Monday or last Wednesday, and it was a similar situation, and that particular officer wasn't prepared to testify. So if you can just hold to the end of the calendar, I'm going to give him a call to see if he will be able to testify. And if so, if it's something where the court wants us to proceed on Jalen Jones to get it moving, we may be able to do that. I will say this individual, he's in on other charges because he has an open case. I don't know if Attorney Davis if he's in agreement with continuing the case or what his position would be.
Well, at this point, Judge, I do have conflicts for January 9th and January 11th. So if the case was continued, I would more than likely file a conflict notice with the court for those 2 days. I know Mr. Jones does have a case, but that case is resolved. So he's under sentence. My concern is that he may be sent to DOC, and then we may have trouble getting him back for this particular hearing. So,
Now, if the state doesn't have any objection, I'm prepared to hear the case today, but like I said, I do know there was a co-defendant in the case.
Right, and I guess, Attorney Davis, if we did continue the case, I mean, do you have an objection? If I know you said that week of January, you're out, but would you be okay with us rescheduling the case to maybe the 16th to hear it with Bo Mosley? Because I think those are the last two. Let me see.
Yeah, I think it was at least 4 or 5, as I recall.
Right, in that particular case, I think those are the last two.
We don't have a calendar on the 16th, so I'm not certain why. Is that correct, Ms. Mary? We don't have a calendar on the 16th.
Or maybe the 18th, that Wednesday.
Yeah, the 16th is a holiday, Judge.
Okay, I apologize. And so
I'm looking at my calendar now. I do have a murder trial the week of the 17th, as well as the 23rd. It may be a 2-week murder trial. So it would have to be more likely February in terms of my availability. But I don't have any issue. Again, he is under, I believe, a 6-year sentence with DOC. So it would have to be February. I don't think that continuance would necessarily cause any harm at this point.
Well, Judge, if that's the case, and then that may give the other attorney, Muhammad, a chance to get assigned. And so we would ask they continued. And Attorney Davis, if you want to speak offline about even getting this case resolved, and so maybe wrapping up all of his cases, that's certainly something we can discuss.
Sure.
Ms. Mary, do you have the dates for the February calendar?
February 6th.
Okay, any objections to February the 6th?
No, Your Honor.
That works for us, Judge, for Jalen Jones as well as Bo Mosley.
Okay, let's do that.
And Attorney Davis, I'm going to the ADA who's on his other case was Corey Mitchell. I'm going to send him an email now and just ask about if he would want to try to wrap all of his stuff up before he goes to the DOC.
Oh, well, he's not, there's no, these are the only pending charges he has.
Right. I mean, but he,
Okay.
based on his current sentence,
Okay.
just got, If you could see your email at Attorney Davis.
Okay, I'll send it to you in the chat.
Thank you. Thank you, Judge.
Okay. Position 71, State of Georgia versus Caroline Lewis. That was a bond waiver signed December 13, 2022.
That's correct.
Position 72, State of Georgia versus Keandre Richard Lyons.
That defendant's out on bond.
No, Mr. Lyons, he's not out.
I apologize. Different defendant. The next one is out on bond. I'm sorry.
Mr. Lyons, I'll speak with the state about trying to work out a bond, but it may be a hearing. I do think there are a couple of misdemeanors on the calendar that are unrelated to the felony cases. One of them, the first one actually looks like it's barred by the statute of limitations from what I've seen of the warrant, but in any event, it's a misdemeanor. The other one is the battery family violence also seems to be a misdemeanor that's unrelated, just for purposes of information.
Okay. But he has the aggravated assault charge, correct?
Right, that sequence of charges.
The aggravated assault, the weapons charge, and the armed robbery are all one case.
Yeah, I see that. Okay.
And the state is ready.
Okay.
So before we move on, so I'm gonna move 72 and 73, Judge, to a misdemeanor calendar.
No, because he still has the other pending charges.
But I thought he says they're unrelated. Are they related?
No. The theft by receipt and the battery family violence are misdemeanors.
No, they're related.
No, yeah.
Well, let me go. I know it was a number. It was 2 cases where they had a number of I think the first appearance dates were different. Was this one of them? I'll have to go back and look at it.
Just let me know.
Okay. So you're prepared to move forward on the felonies today, Attorney
Yes.
Rogers?
Judge.
I'm sorry,
yeah.
Ms. Freeman?
Yes, we're ready.
Okay. Attorney Rogers?
Yes, ma'am, I'll speak with the state about a bond, but if we need to have a hearing, I think there is a co-defendant, so I don't know what the situation is regarding the co-defendant.
Okay, who's the co-defendant in the case?
Alexander Wallace.
Okay, and who's representing Mr. Wallace? That's position. Position 110.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, position
113, Judge.
113, 114, 115. Who's representing Mr. Wallace? Has that been assigned to anyone, Ms. Davis?
I'll let you know in a minute, Judge.
Okay, thank you. So we'll circle back around to Lyons. State of Georgia versus, I'm sorry,
Your
go
Honor, I
ahead.
apologize. Did you say Christopher Wallace?
No, it's a different Wallace, Attorney Jerome.
All right. Thank you.
Then position 77 on the calendar, State of Georgia versus Bo Allen Mosley. That is going to be reset to, was it February the 6th, correct?
Yes, Judge.
Okay. And then the State of Georgia versus J. Terrell Murphy, that's a reset. I guess we'll need a date for that one, Miss Mary. I'm assuming 1-9 is full. But did you include, I know they had emailed us earlier, so is that the one of the ones you included for the 1-9 date for the continuance?
Yes.
Okay, so that's 1-9 is okay?
Yeah, that's okay.
Okay, so that'll be January the 9th. So Attorney Schoolcraft is on as the defendant's attorney.
Thank you, Judge.
The other Wallace, Your Honor, is I see assigned to Stanley Schoolcraft. Oh, his name is Alexander. Is it Alexander Wallace Robinson?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, I see that he's assigned to Stanley Schoolcraft.
Okay, so we'll likely need a continuance in that case.
Which case is that, Judge?
Robinson Alexander Wallace is position 113 on the calendar.
Okay.
That's a co-defendant to Lyons. And so we would definitely ask if we can't get that resolved, that they be sent together.
Okay. Position 84 on the calendar, Sarah Punt.
The state's ready.
Someone representing Ms. Ponce.
Attorney Tools, Crystal was in that case.
Okay, Mr.
Judge,
Toles, ready to go?
I was told that she hired Brad Moody. And I called Mr. Moody last week. He says he does represent her. He says he intends to withdraw, but he had not withdrawn, so.
He intends to withdraw from the case?
That's what he told me, but he said he had not withdrawn. So he's still the attorney of record for Ms. Ponce, at least. Is it a trafficking case?
It is.
Yes, it is.
Yes, trafficking meth, yeah. I can try to reach him and see if I can get him on a Zoom call so he can make an announcement.
I appreciate that.
Okay.
Thank you.
And the state's ready.
Okay. Position 86, State of Georgia versus Antonio Hakeem Reeves.
Judge, that's my case. This is Kevin Herrick.
And Judge, I believe the state is ready. He is a co-defendant to Frazier Wiggins. That's a case with Attorney Schoolcraft that we requested a continuance on or a reset on.
Okay, was that Monday that we reset that? Okay.
That was in one of the emails with Frazier Wiggins.
Okay, what date did we reset Wiggins for?
9th.
I think we were waiting for Miss Mary to give us a date on Wiggins.
Okay, oh, the
That's
9th.
true.
The 9th.
Okay, the 9th. So we reset that to the 9th.
That's gonna be the last one. If it's not Attorney Schoolcraft's, the next date we're gonna use is 11th.
Okay.
If it's not Schoolcraft's clients.
Judge,
Yeah,
Judge, am I understanding that you're going to reset Mr. Reeves' case as well?
well, I don't, well, it's a co-defendant in the case, and because I believe Schoolcraft, is he on Wiggins?
I am, Judge.
Yeah, so unfortunately, he has a leave of absence until the beginning of the year, so we have to reset all of his cases, and so I'm assuming the state would want them tried together, but I can let Ms. Freeman speak to that.
We would, and Attorney Herrick, I can't recall if we had spoken before regarding any type of bond issue for Mr. Reeves, but certainly if you want to discuss that, we can go to a breakout room if you think he would want to consider that. If not, I am going to ask that it be set on the 9th with Wiggins.
Well, I would ask that it be a hearing today because we did continue it last time because the unavailability of the state's witness, and it's been on since I've been on it, since it's been on the 7th, the 21st of November, and today the 14th. So this is the third time. And it may have been on previously in September.
Judge, if I may, on Mr. Wiggins, I have a bond offer from the state. And my announcement was for Mr. Wiggins was going to be, I'm going to talk to him. If he's willing to accept the bond waiver, then we won't need to continue his case.
Okay, so we'll stick a pin in that and come back. I'm prepared to hear it today. So we'll see. Do you have your witness available? Adrian, for me?
As far as I know, but I'll contact him.
Go ahead and contact him.
I'll do that at the end of the calendar because I don't want to miss any announcements.
Okay.
Yes, thank you.
Judge, I'm going to step away real quick, but I'll come back.
Okay. Position 89 on the calendar, State of Georgia versus Kiara Riley.
The state's ready.
Someone representing Ms. Riley.
That one is also Attorney Schoolcraft.
Judge, I don't have that on my list. I'll check with the folks in Atlanta and find out.
Okay. Okay, we had to reset that. So I'm assuming so I know you haven't had a chance to speak with your client. If we reset that, Ms. Mary, is the 9th no longer available? We would have to do the 11th.
We're gonna have to do the 11th.
Okay, so let's go ahead and reset that for the 11th.
Excuse me. And Riley has a co-defendant, Deshaun Williams.
Okay, so just look at Williams.
Phil, did we do a waiver for Deshaun Williams?
That's position. Yeah, we did a waiver for Deshaun on yesterday, December 13th.
Yes, we did. Thank you. We did.
So we can move forward. Well, no, we can't move forward because of the school prep. So we're gonna set that for the 11th. January the 11th, to be clear. Position 91, State of Georgia versus LaCory A. Rouse. State
State's,
ready?
state's ready.
Who's representing the defendant?
That's my case, Your Honor. If we can't work out a bond, it'll probably be a hearing.
Okay. Position 97, State of Georgia versus Shaquem Vondale Satchel.
Judge, that officer has a conflict file in that case, so if we can't get it resolved, we would ask that it be rescheduled.
And who's representing the defendant?
That's my case, Your Honor. I still move to dismiss for one of prosecution. I'll speak with Mr. Satchel about it though, just to see. And if we can work it out, then we'll work it out another way.
Okay. Do you know how many times it's been on the calendar?
It's
I
the
don't
first,
remember it repeatedly, but
Yeah, it's first time recollection.
okay. Well, if you can't get a result, I will be granting a continuance. So we'll circle back around to that one. Position 99, State of Georgia versus Jamar Smith.
state's ready.
I need to hold on that one and pre-trial, I guess, with the state and with Mr. Smith. He also has a co-defendant, so if it's a hearing, just so the court knows.
Okay, who's the co-defendant?
Waltez Wilkins.
Attorney Schoolcraft was assigned a co-defendant.
Who's the co-defendant?
Waltez Xavier Wilkins, position 118 on the calendar.
Are you saying that's,
118.
are they saying that's my case, Judge?
That's what they're saying.
Yes, that's what
118
they're
through
saying, Mr. Stewart.
123. That's what they're saying.
I'll check that out as well, Judge, because I don't have it on my list.
That's news to you as well.
I'm doing well, aren't I?
Yes.
I'll check. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Which one are we talking about? Wilkins or Wilkins, right?
Wilkins, position 118 through 123 on the calendar. It's Waltez, W-A-L-T-E-Z, and Wilkins, W-I-L-K-I-N-S.
I'll check that out. Thanks,
Okay.
Judge.
Position 100. No, that's the same. That's the same as defendant Smith. Position 106, State of Georgia versus David Swan. That was also Attorney Schoolcraft and ADA Freeman requested a reset for 1-9 or 111. What say you, Miss Mary? 111?
No, that's 1-9.
That's 1-9, okay. So January 9th, 2023 for Swan. State of Georgia versus Norris Turner, also at the request of ADA Freeman and Attorney Schoolcraft, reset to 1-9 or 111, Miss Mary.
1-9.
Okay, 1-9.
Yes, ma'am.
And that's also the co-defendant is Willis, Marquise Willis. And that was Attorney Brandon Lewis. So both of those need to be placed on the same date.
Okay. You said that was Lewis. I do recall receiving the email.
Yes, Judge. Brandon Lewis represents Marquise Willis.
Yeah, Quentin. Okay, position. Miss Mary, that's position 129 on the calendar. 1:30, and 1:31.
1-9.
Okay, we're gonna do 1:09. Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
so both will be 1:09.
Yes, ma'am.
State of Georgia, position 110 on the calendar, State of Georgia versus Christopher T. Wallace.
The state's ready.
Your Honor, that's my case. I got a bond offer from the state. I would need a breakout room with my client, Mr. Wallace, to see if he wants to do a waiver.
Well, I actually, Mr. Wallace has retained me, Serge
Okay.
Jerome, on this. And I've spoken to him about the potential bond offers before, and he wants to move forward for preliminary.
He wants to move forward with a hearing?
Yes.
Okay, no problem.
Did you see, because we haven't spoken before, and so I did send you what my bond rec would be in the case. And
Yes.
so if you want to discuss that with your client, so at least he knows what I would consent to.
Yes, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. So if I could be put in a breakout room, I'll discuss it with him.
Okay. Well, we only have one pod, so normally, once I conclude the calendar, I'll give you an opportunity to speak to your client, okay?
All right.
But if you can't reach an agreement, you're prepared to go, correct?
Yes, we are.
And ADA Freeman, you have your witness available?
Yes, the state will be ready.
Okay. And then position 113 on the calendar, State of Georgia versus Robinson Alexander Wallace. That's been reset until January 9th of 2023. That's attorney Schoolcraft.
Which case was that, Judge?
Robinson Alexander Wallace.
Oh, okay.
Position.
Oh, that's right.
113.
I've got the co-defendant.
Yes, you got the code. I hope you're
Try to
ready in
confuse me,
January.
Judge.
I hope you're ready in January, Attorney Schoolcraft. Because we
I
doing these,
expect to be, Judge.
hearings. Okay.
I expect to be. Things are progressing well.
Okay,
So I should
great.
be okay by then.
That's always good to hear. Position 116, the State of Georgia versus Frazier Bobby Wiggins. Schoolcraft indicated there was a possible waiver. Is that correct?
Yes, Judge, I just need a few minutes with my client.
Okay.
If not, we would have to do that on the 13th.
Okay. And then 118, position 118, the State of Georgia versus Waltez Xavier Wilkins. Attorney Schoolcraft, that will be you as well.
I'm checking on that, Judge.
Okay. And then position 124, the State of Georgia versus Armand Williams. Previous attorney was Attorney Tolles. He's going to speak with his client to see if we can obtain his new counsel's information. So we'll circle back around to Williams' case.
And Judge, I did receive some updated information on that.
Mhm.
Apparently I don't know if the attorney's been hired.
Okay,
That might explain why they don't know his name and why he's not here.
you're right. And why he didn't.
I'd still ask him for him to be brought out.
Okay,
Or I can go into a breakout room and speak to him about that because we're going to continue it anyway.
yeah, because of the co-defendant Campbell. And just to clarify, we did Campbell on
January the 11th.
yeah, January the 11th. So we'll reset that one to Jan, but I'll still give you an opportunity to speak with him.
Now, I did speak, Your Honor, I knew the name of the attorney that the co-defendant's family was potentially trying to retain. I did speak with him off camera. He has
Who's
not.
speaking? I'm sorry, who's speaking?
This is still Attorney Frank Smith.
Okay, for some reason your name is over your mouth, but go ahead, go ahead.
All right. So I did speak with that attorney, and he was expecting to be retained in the case, but has not been officially retained in the case. That attorney is Robert Booker. And so if that is the same individual that Mr. Williams is referring to, then yes, he indeed has not been retained in the case.
Okay. Can you spell his last name for me? The attorney.
B-O-O-K-E-R. K-E-R.
Booker, okay. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and reset that one until January the 11th of 2023.
Noted, Your Honor.
Position 127, State of Georgia versus Deshaun Williams. That was a waiver bone, I'm sorry, waiver fast track. That
Yes,
was
Your-
December 13th, 2022. Position 129, the State of Georgia versus Marquise Quentin Willis. That was reset to January 9th, 2023. Position 132, Leroy Caesar Wright Jr., state ready.
Yes, Your Honor.
And yeah, I need to hold on that one. I hadn't, I just need to hold on that one for the moment.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, that will conclude the calling of the calendar this morning. Is there anyone present, either council or party that did not hear their name called? Okay.
Your Honor,
Yes.
Your Honor, this is Detective Salazar. I'm waiting here to hear on my case on Mr. Jason Rodriguez Melendez.
Salazar, that case isn't on. Judge, I'll send Salazar a message in the chat.
Okay. Yeah, because I don't have it on my calendar. Okay.
Thank you.
So initially, I'm gonna set up breakout rooms because we only have one pod. I usually, let's see, I'll get in the order.